Side quest is not running right now. I'll fire it up in just a moment. Internet, hello. Um, but first I'm gonna. Oh, I'm not. I shouldn't waste time. Actually, I shouldn't even like talk to the camera at first. I should literally just like start hitting buttons, like buttons, 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 buttons. Yeah, the thing I was gonna say about side quest is that it's not running right now, but that's because I was about to run it and uh, sorry, and it crashed because I didn't test my changes at the end of the day yesterday. So I just need to. I looked at what was happening, and it seems like a fairly straightforward bug. So I think I can get it up and running in the very near future. I'm just, as is typical. Oh, shut up! You're one of the confirmation questions on this site was what color is our logo, and I said what color it actually is, despite the fact that I kind of knew what color they were expecting me like to what I was like I could have just put in the answer that was probably like that they were probably expecting. Instead, I put in the correct answer, thinking that even if they didn't think that was like the correct answer, they could at least accept it as like an alternately correct answer. No, they're colorblind, which is fine for them. It's just inconvenient when they um I don't know. I'm almost done. I'm almost ready to get started. I've probably just been talking gibberish because I'll be honest. I was paying most of the attention to like the buttons that I'm clicking, partial attention to other things that are happening right now. But it looks like things are good, which is nice. I prefer a good state of things, right? Wow, is it 10:55 already? Oof, I almost started on time today, but then I was just like, no, I'll do other things. I'll get distracted by other things instead of starting on time. Not my favorite decision I've ever made, but all right, one last click and blammo. It's showtime! Ah! All right, so let's get out of face cam. Let's get over to screen cam, shall we? I had no clue what I was going to be working on today until like a very short time ago. I basically, oh hey, One Single Dream, how's it going? Welcome. Uh, I figured out what I'm gonna do, but it was just like a last minute thing. It was like I was getting ready. This was just a very short time ago, and then at a certain point I was like, I have no clue what I'm doing today, and then I was like, all right. The first thing I'm gonna do is fix this bug, which is here. I added in, yeah. So I set up yesterday. I set up the I set up the pirate ship to work, despite the fact that it doesn't have transitions. Previously, I always could assume the presence of transitions in an environment, but then I added in a quest, and I forgot to consider the fact that now that it has a quest, I also need to consider the concept of a quest belonging to an environment that does not have a transition. So os.path dot exists, and then we check this path. Yeah. So because yeah, so now that events drive the environmental transitions, we keep track of a list of all of the events that could occur in the current environment or in neighboring environments, like environments with a valid transition. I switched to screen cam, right? Okay, good. So I think that was literally the fix. I think that's fine. I mean, that's not to say that there won't be another bug, but I think that, well, for example, I forgot the semicolon, or the colon, regular colon. Full-on colon. Super colon, in fact. No. Okay. Okay, now the game's going to work, I hope. So the pirate ship should now be in the game, which is kind of cool. I mean, it's not that special, but it's just one of those things that, like, a lot changed in order to accommodate the pirate ship broke a lot of assumptions that the game had previously made, and so it's just kind of neat that it just feels like a whole new game, not literally, but like so much exciting, different, whatever. Okay, so Oh yeah, I can't access my other computer for some reason. My mouse stopped being working. There we go. I don't know why it does that sometimes, but it does. But it's better now. Fixed it. Okay. So what are we gonna do today? That was the question that I think I have an answer for. So let's shake it a bit and see if it holds up. Uh, so voices. Oh yeah, okay. So pirate ship, jump cut authoring. I'm gonna call this done. Actually, it's not fully tested yet. Unconnected environments. Yeah, this is the thing I was talking about with the transitions, or the lack of transitions. Um, I guess these aren't technically fully tested yet, but I'm gonna call them done because I don't know. Because I'm brash, I guess. I'm a bit strong-headed, I guess, is why I'm gonna call it done. Um, I mean, I could just test the. No, I can't. I can't do it now. I could have just tested the pirate ship, and it wouldn't have been that hard. But I'm not in an opportune time to test it anymore, so I'll just not worry about that. Okay, so let's. Hey, look, that's me. Oh, you know what was weird that I was noticing yesterday is that sometimes Trusty Bard doesn't tweet stuff. I just noticed it, and I have a few hunches as to like what might be going wrong there, but it's creepy because it's really inconsistent. It's one of those things that like I couldn't like I glanced at it and I couldn't figure out like the rhyme or reason to it. It's like it's like yeah. So let's look at what Trusty Bard has tweeted at me. Or no, I'm gonna use Protospasm as an example, just because I know that this is a good example. It was the one I was looking at yesterday. So Trusty Bard didn't tweet out the level 22 for some reason, and I actually know what that reason was. It's because I accidentally forgot to enable Twitter that day. But then if we look up here, 23, 24, 26, 27. I did have Twitter enabled this day, so I don't understand how that could happen. I mean, I guess there is like a fluke by which it could happen, but it seems like an awfully unlikely fluke. It just like hypothetically, if Protospasm leveled up and then I like very immediately terminated the script, then like that might not give it time to actually send the tweet, but I don't terminate the script that often, and like the script doesn't crash that often. Um, so it just seems really unlikely that that's the cause. And this is also not the only instance of it. It's so like for example, well actually the way I noticed it is that I hadn't leveled up in a while, because I was trusting hard. Whoops. Uh, to let me know when I'd leveled up. Whoops. Oh, whoops. Yeah, wrong account. B Binry underscore TV. Right. That was my personal Twitter account. Yeah. So 4-5. I think I didn't get level 6 because I think that was the same day that I accidentally forgot to enable Twitter. But yeah, the last one I got is level 9, and that was so long ago. That was like 3 days ago, right? So I was like, wait, am I really level 9? And so I looked, and fun fact, I'm not. I'm level 10. So somewhere in there, a message did not go through, and I don't know what that was about either. So, like, I'm just a little concerned. The one thing that I don't want to do, but the one thing that like might actually fix it is that I copy and pasted all this text out of a Google document, and the last time, or one of the times I did that, there were like weird, like bad characters introduced, and it broke things, and see, I'm level 10. And I have the long gloves, right? So the last tweet I should have gotten from Trusty Bard shouldn't have been about my hat. It should have been about my gloves. Yeah, so the way I fixed it last time was to literally retype the entire thing. But this entire thing is a lot longer and a lot less fun. It would be even less fun to retype this time around, just because file open. Where is it? It's journey game data level messages. Yeah, it's like this whole thing. I'm if I have to retype it, I'll do it like off stream sometime, because like that's just not gonna be fun. It would be nice though, for a few reasons, if I could just like figure out what's wrong with it, if there is in fact something wrong with it. So I might do a little investigation first, maybe. Oh yeah, yeah. So sorry. Or no, where am I going? Downloads, I guess. Downloads. I downloaded a hex editor. Because I was just thinking, like, maybe the weirdo characters will be apparent if I look at, like, maybe they're like maybe something will stand out. I don't know necessarily that anything will, but it seems entirely feasible that something might. So let's it's just I think it could be one of those things that it'll take a moment just to look at, and it could be fruitless, but if it does pay off, it'll pay off nicely. So it could be worthwhile. For some reason, this folder takes like a million years to open. I don't know what that's about. It's just my computer being weird. It's like, it's not even like an external drive or anything, or like it's not even that big of a folder. It's just, for whatever reason, that one takes forever. So, all right, Hex Explorer I think is the one that I went with. I don't need a desktop icon. Don't need start menu icons. Copy program files. I don't know what that means. I don't need this to be on the C drive either. The C drive is my SSD. It's like the stuff that I use for work I put on my C drive, but if it's just like, and I guess technically I would be using this for work, but like I mean like the core tools go on my C drive, and then pretty much everything else goes on my D drive. Because why not? This is my D drive. This thing's on my D drive. Which would not explain why it takes 5 million years to open, because my D drive is a regular like hard drive. It's not like a mouse in like a little spinning wheel, or like a little hamster wheel thing. It's not like it's that. Did you not open? Explore. What? Did you not install? What just happened? Why is nothing happening right now? I feel like something should be happening. Like I'm not even picky about what. Just I feel like something should be happening. Where did it? Is it not called Explorer? Or am I just looking in the wrong folder? Explorer. All right. Well, it's very secretive. It's just hiding. It's just hiding very well. Yakumas, hey, how's it going? Welcome. I'm doing some hex editing, maybe. I'm not coding in assembly, but I'm gonna take a peek at some hex. 'Cause why not? No, I just yeah, something weird is happening, and it involves a text file. I don't know necessarily that the text file is the cause of the weirdness, but why is that so small? Why is that so small? Why is the default view as like 10% of actual size? Why is there no like? Are you serious? Is there no way to zoom in on that? That's crazy. Why would it be so small and not have a way to zoom in? Does it hate me? Does this program hate me? View. Full screen. Still really small. Still really small. Are you kidding? Who does that? Who does that? Oh, so this is like probably the most useless program I've ever installed before. Pixel View. In case you want it smaller, in case this is too big for you, you can do Pixel View. Oh man. Here, I don't think I'm missing anything. It's like there's not like any secret menu. It's like the view menu has like go to address. All right, well that's fun. I can't I can change the font. I can't change the size, as far as I can tell. Yeah. There's a button to add to send to menu, which is of course what that's of course what you need to do. You need to add to send to menu. You don't need to see anything that's on screen. You just need to be able to add to send to menu. That's the key right there. All right. Well, that's useless. Complete garbage. Hey Marty, how's it going? Welcome. So I've used this program before, and the last time I used it, I don't remember it being garbage. But I guess times change. Or sometimes I guess times change. Yeah, times change, and if something doesn't change, then it becomes garbage. As far as I can tell, what's happened here. Really? It's just, it's one of those things where it's like perplexing. It's like, how on earth do you overlook that? How do you not notice that? How am I the first person on this planet who's discovered that? Oh, in fact, wait, what is this? This is probably a search thing. Find, yeah, it's not find. It's not a magnifying glass as in make things bigger. It's a magnifying glass as in find the insignificant speck that you can't actually perceive. Oh yeah, so the what I suspect could be amiss is one of our data files, and there are no like overt visible characters that are like interfering with like the text processing, but that doesn't mean there aren't characters that are interfering with the text processing. So I was going to look at the hex and see if there weren't any like weird anomalies there. It's also entirely possible that that's not the cause of the problem. If it's not the cause of the problem, I don't know what is yet. So is there any... Wait, okay, so... Oh, yeah, I think, actually, maybe that doesn't even make sense as the cause of the problem, because if I recall correctly, it was, so it was level 10, for example, that Trusty Bard didn't tell me. But if I look at Trusty Bard, yeah, Trusty Bard did tell Yakumus when Yakumus got level 10. So maybe it actually doesn't make sense that it would be invalid data, because actually, Trusty Bard does seem capable of parsing that data. Okay, so maybe it is another factor. And I guess I was kind of hoping it'd be that just the hex, and that we could look at the hex and that we could fix it easily like that, because now I have less idea about what it could be. So I guess I'll just have to figure something out at some point. I'll keep that. I'll make a note to myself so I don't forget about it. But I don't really know what I can do on that point right now. Plus, it's not what I want to be working on. So let's do what? Oh yeah. So Trusty. I'm gonna put scare quotes around Trusty. Trusty Bard sometimes forgets to tweet levels. Trusty Bard, the Bard formerly known as Trusty. What's that? I am level 10. Yeah, I'm supposed to be level 10. I mean, I am level 10, but for whatever reason, Trusty Bard never told me. So, Control plus to zoom. I mean, I guess I might as well try it. Control mouse wheel didn't work, so yeah, no. Or actually, no. I guess it would be Control Shift plus, right? Yeah, no dice. All right, so let's. It probably wasn't that, anyways, but that was something that I wanted to figure out. That was something that I wanted to figure out for other reasons. So if it had fixed that thing, that would have been double great. But I guess for the other thing, then I'll have to try other things. I just don't know what those things are yet. So let's work on what I do know, or let's work on some known quantities. Voices. is so I want a way to encourage and reward players who I have a few goals that I want to accomplish with this. Like when I woke up this morning, I had no clue what I was going to do, but I did have a few goals, and uh, before I started streaming, I did manage to. Sorry, I have something in my eye, and that's probably unattractive to watch. All right, sorry. um, yeah, I had some goals that I wanted to accomplish, and before I started streaming, I think I did figure out like what I wanted to do to accomplish those goals. I want to be a better. I want to use the secret panel more often. It was pointed out yesterday. I'm aware of it, but it was mentioned in fact yesterday by a player that I don't use this very often, and it's true. I do recognize that, and I'm not. It's not that I don't want to use it. It's just that I don't. So I want to use that more. And that's one of my goals. One of my other goals is to encourage and reward player player players doing things other than so there's you can play this game just by waiting for an event and then just submitting like a single hey Rodrigo, how's it going? You can participate in this event by submitting a single a word representing the action tag, and that's literally all you have to do to play the game. That's like the bare minimum. In fact, you don't even have to participate in the events. Technically, you can play the game just by being here. But I kind of want to make something to, like, for the people who go above and beyond. I want to do something there. So, yeah. So voices. It's voices of the players, which. So okay, so right now action tags, like the game has defined action tags, right? Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that anyone can, anyone, it's not going to be as rigid. Like the events will still use action tags in order to determine outcomes, but that's not all action tags will do anymore. And so we actually have an event type. We've had it for the whole game. It's just called a write-in. It's an open-ended event type where instead of I mean, technically it is the other event type, although I never actually, I don't think I've literally ever used it. I tested it, and I'm pretty sure it works, or at least it did once upon a time. Who knows? It might have broken since then. Yeah, so, I'm basically going to take the like what I'm doing for the write-in event types and just open it like all the time. We're just going to like basically at any given point you can input your own action tag, and I don't have any specific like firm plans for like how that will affect game systems yet, except like I was saying before, I want to use the secret panel more often. And part of the reason I don't is that when I use the secret panel, people play the game in that way I described, the very bare minimum, bare bones sort of way. And so it doesn't feel like there's any advantage to using the secret control panel versus just letting the automated system take it away. In fact, the reason I've been spending so much time on the automated system lately is that the automated system feels like more bang for buck. So make the best walrus sound I can. Okay. That's the best walrus sound I can make right now. Sorry, I'll try harder later. So, nothing personal, but I'm just gonna rinse your chat. Nothing personal. Okay. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that thing I just said. So the one thing that I'm not certain about is the added processing, the added text processing. Technically, I'm not really changing how I'm not really changing how much text processing happens in the game per se. Like I'm not inventing a new upper limit to how much text processing occurs, but the difference would be that instead of only processing text during an event when we look for action tags, Now the same sort of text processing would be open all the time. Yeah. Yeah? I don't know. As soon as I said that, it occurred to me, like, why don't I just actually have it only happen during an event, during events? Like, there's no reason I actually have to have it happen outside of events. Um, I I don't know. So I guess I should probably, like, I don't know which of those two things I want to do right now. They both seem like they both have their pros and cons. So I might want to implement it ambiguously so that I can, or like, implement it in a way that I can basically like toggle between the two, if I can. If I can't accomplish that, then I might just have to like, make a choice. But I'm not going to make that choice yet. I'm going to see. I'm going to do as much as I can to support either option. So the advantages of allowing like the use of these tags at any time. The advantage there is player freedom. Like it like encourages more use. Like you could, the players could do this like literally whenever, um, which might be better because the advantage of restricting it only to during events is that it's less likely to muddy up the chat channel. I don't know. One thing I like about the event system right now is that it is very contained. Uh, but that's also something I'm trying to solve is like the space, like the emptiness between the events. So I'll probably want to allow it at all times, but yeah, like I said, if I can implement it in a way that that both, I'd have the option to change it. That would be or like, try out both ways, see what works better, see what works best. That might be good. Uh, uh, so oh, the Twitch emoticons. Twitch emoticons. I'm not just let me Google that for you because Twitch emotes, I think it's called. Yeah, there's like literally a site for it, which is convenient. So super important, super important. Okay, I'm glad we accomplished that. um, doop 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 doop. Sorry, don't mind me. um, okay, so let's let's do what? Let's start by changing the chat detection or like the chat processing. I guess for starters, yeah, I kind of have to. I guess I kind of have to choose like that choice I was like trying to put off as long as possible. I guess I do kind of have to make that choice up. I think though, just because I have to like start in one direction, I don't think I'm necessarily locking myself into it because I think it's basically like the same sort of processing. Then the only difference is that I can move it to different places and like I can call it from different places. I can call that code from other places. Yeah, I think that's okay. So let's actually get to writing it. Where does this happen? It happens down here. Yeah. So like it's the same place that we process like lurker mode. So yeah, prove message, lurking. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Huh. Actually, I guess we do a bit of data processing or text processing here. Maybe it's actually not that much more. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. um, so we'll do the please link Twitter handle is, we'll do that last. So we'll add in a new if case here. So if, oh yeah, alright, so we need to do the, if, why did I do that? Weird. The first thing I need to do is some research, but by which I mean regex search research. Okay, wait, hold on. Maybe the place where I was about to put it might not actually be the correct place to put it, because up here, hold on. I think that place I was about to write it is not an alternative to this code path. Like, I think both of those paths evaluate. So if I put that thing here, then in the case of an event, if event on, then it would evaluate twice. So yeah, maybe that's not the right place. What would be the right place then? I mean, I guess I could just do it up front. Oh yeah. No, I could just do I could just run that search term up front. Yeah. Okay. So research. I named that value, or I used that value to a few times. So I should do what? I should say. Well, yeah. I'll basically do this. Copy this or cut this kind of. Yeah. And then put it where? Here, I guess. If name equals gem name. Wait a second. If name equals gem name? How is all of this? Oh. Yeah, right. Okay, so actually I want to go even higher up. Even higher up. Did I even grab the right chunk of text? This is the one. Wait, /w plus. Oh, action symbol, yeah. Okay, so I did grab the right chunk of text, sort of. Except it comes up in a few places. Yeah, right. I forgot how often we run this. Like, there's already like there's like branching code paths, and we run this in several of those branches. The difference is that we're basically going to run this in every branch. Yeah. So, not just like if gem name or these other things. Oh. Okay, wait. Actually, one thing that all of these things have in common that I'm not actually filtering for is priv message. Yeah, priv message. Right. Is there a way that I can rearrange this to like, is this event on? No, it looks like oh no, yeah, this is all in line. Like this whole else oh no, wait, that part. Oh no, this part. Yeah, how far indented is this? Yeah, it's indented to the same distance. So I could put this all inside the if priv message. Although this block is for priv message. Priv message is chat. Priv message is how IRC indicates when people are talking in chat versus like other IRC messages that come through. So we'll want to be because we want to listen for action commands from chat. To do that, we will want to every time someone speaks in the chat channel, we'll want to check for some reason. And when I say for some reason, I mean for different reasons. Like it's not we'll always have a reason we'll want to check it, but we won't. It won't always be the same reason. It just occurred to me, like, I'm definitely not doing that thing that I said earlier about keeping it open-ended so that I can change it if I want. I'm definitely not doing that thing. Whoops. All right. Well, I guess it's decided. I'm gonna do it this way. Let's do what then? let's sorry. It's just really amusing to me. Okay, so yeah, let's so priv message, where, so part messages. What is it that we handle? Oh, right. Okay, yeah. We handle part message differently for GMs. It's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, no, this is not that hard actually. Okay, so so name. As soon as we choose the name, as soon as we choose the name. I mean, I guess we don't have to do it for ping messages. We don't have to do it for the magic number. Now that I think about it, it's really annoying that I have to do this. I mean, it's not that annoying. It's a little annoying that I have to do this. I mean, I could do it differently. Oh yeah, no. Nah, whatever. I don't care. I could just get rid of this. No, that's important. All right. So like there are different ways that that IRC sends me data about like what players are in the game, and sometimes it uses this weird other method, which I just wish if it was consistent, that'd be nice, but it's not consistent. All right, I'll stop like mini ranting about that. So yeah, whatever. I'll just do it here. All right, so research. I called it research, but I use that name for other things later. So I'm gonna call this like action search. Yeah, which I think is a new value. I don't think I'm using this anywhere else in the world. Okay, so actually I'm going to say action search equals an empty list, but then if t-split, I've done t-split by here, right? Yeah, I've done t-split. So if t-split, which is the data that we got from IRC, split up in different chunks. If t-split 1 equals priv message, the string priv message, then we'll say act search equals this, and then so the places that we were using research before, we can kind of replace with act search, because this is like a nice global sort of replacement for it. Hey, congratulations, Acumus. Sorry, in chat, you're unable to read your own regular expressions 15 minutes after you write them. Yeah, that sounds right. Oh, what was it? Someone said, oh yeah, someone I read recently said that there's a reason that regular expressions look like cartoon swear words. For me personally, they look like alien emoticons. They look like Rick and Morty Love Potion episode. They look like they're trying to be emoticons of like the weird alien creatures from the episode of Rick and Morty where everyone turned into weird alien creatures. Yeah. So you got thick armor? What's wrong with thick armor? Oh yeah, okay, you like it. Or Yakima says it's okay. There's nothing wrong with thick armor. What's wrong with thick armor? It's cute that you think that that's a magic amulet, Marty. It's actually a compass, but yes, it's a magic amulet of directionality. It's a magic amulet of not getting lost in the woods. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah. Action source. I can replace research or with action search. So right. So we don't even have to run this test. Oh wait. Hold on. Oh wait. Okay. So no, there are some places that we have to run it because we're running it differently. Is that true? Like, because sometimes we run it over fragments. No, this is the same thing, right? Source split. How come sometimes it's source split? Start index after hark. Why did I do that? Yeah. Right, I did that for like bug catching. So maybe I should just not care about the GM. Maybe I should only do this. Maybe I should only run this test in the case that the player who's inputting these action tags is not themselves the GM. Yeah, that makes enough sense. Yeah, we do it slightly differently for the GM just because the GM uses text commands to control the game, and so to accommodate that, we put in like a little bit of like error catching so that the GM doesn't accidentally, misfire the wrong thing at the wrong time. Uh, uh, so yeah, let's So okay, so if I'm going to exclude the GM from this, where would I put this then? I guess I'd just move it down a little bit. It would just be like so instead of doing this here, where we put it? Because so we don't care about the GM. It's not that we don't care about the GM. We don't care about the GM for this purpose. So let's go to the first else statement here. The first else statement to this chunk. So if event on, we're already getting specific. Okay. Well, shoot. Well, so. Oh no, you know what I could do? So this is else. There's an else case to this too? Gosh, there are a lot of else cases. Wait, I might be handling part messages duplicatively because I kind of. Oh, whoa. Actually, I'm not just. Oh no no. All right, I won't mess with stuff. I was gonna say. Oh yeah, no, there is a reason. I was thinking like, wait, why do I handle part messages twice? And there's a reason for that. It's not just strictly duplicative. It's also that there are differences in how we process the departure of a player depending on whether the event is on. So. Yeah, I'm just gonna change this a little bit. I'm just gonna say what. Oh, wait a second. This is the. Like you might be able to tell from the amount of time it's taking me to kind of unravel like how this was set up. I set this up in a way that I did not ever specifically anticipate this particular uh, option. The tough part is that like I mean most of this data is, and maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should just start by yeah. Right now like I have like this. So this section used to be really brief. This section used to do very little, but it kind of we added stuff over time. We're handling not just chat input. Well, no, this is like where we handle everything from IRC. And like while most of the stuff that we handle from IRC is fairly straightforward, chat processing, like processing the proof messages is a little more confusing. So it's possible that I should just like reorganize this now. Change it so that instead of like handling it by like all these, all the parameters that I set up initially, I should just like first sort it by like proof message versus not proof message, because that's what I kind of want to do. I want to sort it by proof message versus not proof message, and then if it's GM, then we'll send it down one path, and if it's not the GM, then we'll send it down the other path. That's the structure that I'm kind of like hoping for here, and it doesn't exist yet. So it's entirely possible I should just put it in here. So join. So maybe I'll just put part right in here. Just do joins parts. Oh, actually I should put priv message before. Oh, I know what I can do with this 353 that I don't like. I can put this at the end because I mean I should be sorting these by I should actually be sorting these by likelihood because like it's a giant like switch case basically. It's a switch. It's the type of switch that you can do in Python, which is to say it's a series of elifs, and so it's just a uh, a la carte J. That is brilliant. Craftsmanship or craftsmanship. Good job building a raft, by the way. Excellent work. Perfect craftsmanship. Uh, yes, that is fairly accurate, Marty. That is. It's not the whole story, but that is like getting perfects is a really. If you get perfects, you're on your way to getting a gold star above your head. Uh, uh, so let's. Yeah, I'm gonna start reorganizing this stuff, and then and the rest of it can just like deal with it. No, the rest of it I'll fix I'll adapt. Okay, so if T-split, this is basically a switch case for T-split of the various things that we might expect to get from IRC. So if T-split 1 equals prove message, oops, this is supposed to be in quotes. T-split 1, not double quotes. Prove message. If T-split 1 equals prove message, this is the most likely case. Most of the data that we get from IRC is going to be this. So there's no point in checking those other things first. So if I just rerun the script, oh, I should before I start changing this stuff, I should probably have backed up the script so that in case the script crashes, I can get it back up and running without having to. Yeah, especially because I have like at least one untested code path, which I assume won't crash, but all right, hold on. Control Z, 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 Z. I'm just going to hold undo until we're back to where we started. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Oh, I guess I don't actually have to get rid of that one, because that, Control Y. This change was a bug fix, so we actually do want that bug fix to be here. All right, so save this, and then I'm going to back it up real quick. So projects, I'll get rid of this old backup, copy here, copy this as, I'll just call this like journey stable, because it's going to get very unstable before it gets stable again. So Control Y, redo. Oh, whoops, I left the typo in journey stable, so I'm going to just real quick get rid of that typo from journey stable. Whoops. Alright, sorry, 1 second. Game dev, you guys. Whoops, that is definitely the wrong. Wow, you can open images in PyCharm for some reason. Sure, why not? Okay. Open. No, open journey stable. And then, where was it? It was when we were loading events. So, this and events. Yeah, it's like here-ish. Right, I just forgot to put a colon here. Yes, I want to do that, PyCharm. PyCharm's always like, are you sure you want to edit this file you just opened and edited? It's like, yes. Yes, obviously. Why? What other reason do people have for opening and editing files except to open and edit them? All right, so proof message. So yeah, actually, before I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change all of this stuff. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna the old structure. I'm basically gonna replace all of it, like piece by piece, because it's just gonna be much cleaner this way. So if proof message, elif. So the next most likely thing would be elif tsplit 1 equals join. This is gonna happen because people like shuffle in and out of the channel a lot. So this is also, I think this is the next most likely case. I mean, technically it'll happen exactly as often as elif tsplit part. Actually, no, that's not true. Because everyone has to join the channel, but you don't have to leave the channel. Some people come in and they never come out. No, like, hypothetically, if the script goes down before someone leaves the channel, then we never get the part message. So yeah, join does technically happen before part. Or more frequently than part. I'm just using PyCharm because it's fine. It works. I wasn't excited to do it. I was using like one that was even slightly less featured, like had slightly fewer things going on with it than PyCharm, and someone was like, you should use PyCharm instead, and I was like, okay, I'll use PyCharm instead. Yeah, there were a few headachy things trying to get used to PyCharm at first, but it's not that bad. I mean, it works. And it was free, so there's that. Sorry, okay. So priv message join part. So 353 is clearly the last one. So ping is probably the next one. So elif t split. Actually, I'm just going to copy this term because there's actually the two terms to it. I don't know. I don't really need to do this ping time thing. I'm just like really paranoid that I'm accidentally going to like introduce a bug and Trusty Bard is accidentally going to spam the server and he's going to get permabanned. Oh, hey! Kirshwasa, thank you very much for hosting. Welcome, everybody. We're playing Side Quest, which is the game that you see along the bottom of the screen. Yeah, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And thank you very much for hosting. I very much appreciate it. Yeah, PyCharm, or excuse me, we were just talking about PyCharm. Side Quest, if you haven't seen it before, is the game that's happening on the bottom of the screen here. It's happening in chat as well. So I'm calling it a tabletop MMO adventure game. It's kind of like if you played, like if there was a little game of Dungeons and Dragons happening on the bottom of the screen at all times. But we're also making the game, so. For most of the screen, as you see up here, we're currently working on okay. So I was going to add in this new feature about, and I still am. I'm going to add in this new feature about player voices in the game, and what I realized is that as I was about to add that, my chat processing needed a little bit of a tune-up. It was like. It had like evolved over time, and it had evolved very far. So the way that it had turned out was not the way that I would have planned it out if I had known how it was going to turn out from the get-go. So this is a very experimental project. It's written in Python. Yeah, I'm working in Python and using PyCharm for the visuals. And yeah, so let's. So right now I'm basically like I'm resorting the chat processing based on I'm basically optimizing it. In Python, if you're not aware, there's no like switch cases, so you just use ifs and else ifs in order to replicate a switch. And so just in order to like reduce the load of processing, I'm basically putting it in order of frequency. So priv message is the most common. That's just someone participating in chat, like chatting in chat. Join is the next most common, is people entering chat. At least this is like the order so far. Part is fairly common. It's when people depart. Ping, it happens intermittently. Like it happens every couple minutes. So it's fairly common. And then I think if that's everything else, then the last one is this T-split business. Why do I do player init? Oh, I don't think I actually have to do player init, but whatever. There might be a good reason for me to be doing that. Oh yeah, so some of this stuff is going to look a little duplicative. It's because I'm not like just hacking apart the old way. I'm basically like putting the new way in on top of the old way. So the old way is down on the bottom of the screen, and I'm going to be like harvesting it from it to create the new way. The new world order. No. So I think this is actually pretty straightforward. For starters, I'm going to space this out a little bit more just so I don't get confused. So this one's pretty straightforward. Like this one doesn't change actually. This one is the same thing. It just happens in a different place, and so it'll evaluate less frequently because we'll actually almost never get down to this. Like it'll be very rare that like it's not a priv message or a join or a part or a ping, which is kind of what I was hoping to do. Uh, uh, if you want to learn Python the roundabout way, then you've come to the right place. Yeah, let me know if you have questions too. I'm happy to explain what I'm doing. Like sometimes for brevity, I just do it. But and yeah, because I don't know like what everyone's learning level is, so I don't want to sound I don't want to waste time like explaining things that everyone understands already. But if you do have questions, I implore you to ask. In fact, I appreciate it because it's helpful for me to know what to be talking about. So I've heard Blender is like really nice for creating art assets. I'd be really surprised if it was also a good game engine. I understand that it does have some like game engine-y features to it. I'd be really surprised if it's like a good choice for that. I've heard it's a really good art creation suite. I heard it's like it's in terms of like free 3D art creation software, it's like your best bet. But then in terms of like using it for making games, I don't have any specific reason to think that it wouldn't be fine for that, except that I've never heard anyone say a good thing about making games in Blenders, whereas there are so many good game engines out there that are available. So I'm not necessarily trying to discourage you, but I don't know. I guess I wanted to impart that because like if you're getting started, like I don't know, it just you're walking down a path that like I don't know leads to a good place necessarily. There are some other paths that I know lead to good places. So I don't know. I don't mean to be overt and like unnecessarily negative. It's just like I don't know. All right, I'll stop talking about that. Okay, so the ping business, like this is also the same. So we can just put this here. Those are very simple, and yeah, I had those at the front previously. I think just because it gets really confusing after the very front. But yeah, so we'll iron that all out. So now everything priv message. Oh yeah, so that's actually partly confusing because we didn't organize it that way before. So this is GM priv message. So I guess so if we have priv message, then one of the things we should check is if name equals GM name. What was this other business? Oh, the length of T split 3 is greater than 1? What is T split 3? I guess that's just to check if it's a GM and the GM is inputting like a valid command. Really? I guess so. I don't think I'm going to sort it that way though. I think I'm going to just upfront check if it's the GM. And then once we've determined that it's the GM. Actually, no, if the GM, yeah, no, actually this is fine because if it's the GM and they're not inputting a valid command, then we can treat their yeah. No, okay, that's good. So if name equals GM name, equals, excuse me. If name equals GM name, so if the name of the player who's talking right now, excuse me, is the name of the GM, if the GM is talking right now, then I'm using PyCharm right now. I use Visual Studio for like C# when I'm working in C# and other languages, but right now I'm working in Visual Studio. I guess like someday I'm thinking I might work in hacks, and so if I do that, I'll also probably use like Flash develop. But right now it's PyCharm mostly, and then I would use Visual Studio if I was doing other stuff. And yes, so I'm using PyCharm because I'm writing in Python. Py. Did I miss any other questions? All right. So if name equals GM name and how do I check for, yeah, so valid command, Actually, no, I guess this isn't necessarily checking for a valid command. It's just checking for anything. Actually, it's a little unnecessary, this check. I mean, yeah, I guess it's just to save on processing. All right, so whatever. No, I'll sort by GM first. GM versus not GM. Uh, oops. Sorry, just one sec. If GM, and then so else. So this will be for non-GM characters. Okay. And so yeah, so I guess technically now I can just put this whole chunk in that place, and this is a pretty big chunk. Can I keep that line highlighted? No, it stops highlighting. So this is a pretty big chunk, because this is where we process GM commands. I could move this elsewhere, but I don't like how Python does functions, so... so I'm not going to. Some people might recognize that that's not a very good excuse for doing things a certain way. Just because I don't like how functions work in Python doesn't mean I shouldn't use them. But whatever, it's my project. I can do what I want. Again, not necessarily the right attitude, but it's the one I'm using for now. Alright, so if GM name, alright, so we're checking if the length of t-split 3 is greater than 1. And so, yep, we're gonna Hadouken this code a little bit. I apologize if that offends anyone's sensibilities. Okay. The good news is that we're optimizing. Alright, so that's if the length of t-split is 3 is greater than 1. Which is basically all the time. We're running this check just because it saves a lick. If we know up front that it's not going to be a valid command and it stands no chance of actually representing a valid command, then yeah. All right. So. Oh, I guess it doesn't actually have to be a valid command in order to kick the GM, or in order to postpone the GM's departure, which is fine. Okay, sorry, just thinking out loud a little bit. So the other thing that we do is, so if it's not a GM inputting a valid command, then what we tend to do is, check whether the event's on. Whether an event is on, because it's one thing that's going to change a little bit, because I mean the changes that or like the new feature that inspired all of this rework is is going to like unify a little bit of how we process chat with it on versus it not on. So like during an event versus not during an event. So yes, all of my code tends to look scary. Not all of it, but like my code tends to look scary. Want to see something really scary? This is going to freak out a lot of people. That's me scrolling up and down in this document. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, there are a few conventions that I do not abide. Which other people would swear by and like, you know, die by, live and die by, like, you know, never have a document with like more than like however many lines of code. It's like, oh gosh, oh the horrors if you had a document with that many lines of code. So yes, this is a bit of a horror show, but not like in a bad way. It's like a horror show, like how, you know, like Frozen is a kids film, whereas The Ring is a horror film. This is just like, this code is of the genre horror. Alright. That's all it is. Okay. I might want to like start commenting this stuff out once I've moved it so that I know what I have fixed up and what I haven't. So this is the else case. I know I haven't done this part yet. So yeah, maybe I will do that. So dot dot dot, or comment comment comment. Where did this section start? That was here. Alright, so we haven't done join yet. Oh, but join's really easy. We could do join just right now, because join is really easy. Alright, so let's do join. This is just when a player enters the game. And I guess, yeah, because like you can't be a GM when you enter the game, you have to enter the game before you can become the GM. Hey, Mang, I should use the solarized color scheme. Much better for the site. I like this color scheme. What does solarized look like? Yeah, how do I change stuff? View? Do you know like what? Like I said, I've been using PyCharm for like a couple months. I haven't really gotten creative about like how to like customize it. Solarized. Is it a light color scheme? Because I'm not going to switch to a light color scheme. Settings. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to use a dark color scheme. Colors and fonts. What am I trying to change? The world, Yakimus. The world. No, someone, so, who was it? WowClone said I should use solarized color scheme. So I'm not really trying to change anything, but I figured I'd humor. There is no solarized color scheme. So yeah, I don't also have any problem with the current color scheme. So thank you for your concern, WowClone. Let me know. Let me know, etc., etc. Yeah, I don't have any problem with this color scheme. It's fine, unless solarized is gonna like look just completely amazing. Then I don't have any specific reason to want to change. Okay. So, all right. So now I've handled the ping, the 335 whatevers, and so I've done all of this now. All right. So it's just this other part down here that I have to untangle. And I say untangle because I'm going to like be like there's like a little tree situation going on here, and I'm gonna branch it slightly differently. Okay, so this is okay. So the way I set this up, I guess I do, huh? Oh yeah. Okay, no, you know what else? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change something about how I started to set this up here. I'm going to say, yeah, no, I know what. Why did I scroll so high? I did not mean to scroll nearly that high. Yeah, no, the way I'm gonna go about setting this up is gonna be a little different. Yeah, okay. No, this is way simpler. So if GM name and oh, do I have to change this? I was gonna say like I'll instead of making yeah, because the way I set it up was that the code that I haven't moved up here yet, it was an alternative to not just the GM saying something, but the GM inputting a valid command. All right, no. All right, you know what? Because I started on priv message, I was thinking I should finish priv message, but no, yeah, I can do that. I can do this. Oh yeah, the event on, event not on thing. I kind of want to do part first. No, I can do this. Sorry. So priv message. So I guess that, yeah, so I should put an event on, event not on split for priv message, because I do still only care about the event during an event. Yeah. Okay. So I will put in that split. So So where is it? It's the else case to the business about all the GM stuff. So if so this is priv message not GM. So if event on. Okay. So I'll put something before the event on thing, but I'll do that later. Right. I guess yeah. So basically, I'll do the refactor first, and then I'll add that new feature, kind of. Or I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. So this is not indented properly. Shazam. Okay. And then. So this is for priv message event on. So then I guess there would be an else to whether the event is on. Right. So if the event, right, because that's the other case. If the event is not on, so I guess because these conditionals are so spread out, I might as well comment them a little bit. I don't usually comment stuff, but hey, look at me commenting stuff. So priv message not GM event off is what this conditional is for. Oh, did I miss something? Oh, respect controllers. Hey, you need to ask something very basic with Python, but what is the difference between 350 and a string? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So if you say if 350 equals 3.50, this is gonna evaluate to false. This is gonna evaluate to false because the number 350 does not equal the string of 350. But yeah, if you say if string 350 equals 350, this is going to evaluate to true because the string equivalent of 3.50 is 3.50. Yeah, I actually use that a lot because I save experience points and like all the data, like the numerical data for this game. I save it in text files, so I have to do those conversions a lot. So hopefully that answers your question. And actually, someone probably already answered your question already in chat, but whatever. Hey, Sato, how's it going? So let's. Oh, is there a Twitch category for development of projects other than games? Yes, there's a. Well, there's not like a generic one, but there's a creative channel for one like. Well, yeah, actually, creative is kind of like is pretty broad, right? What people use it for is like art and crafts, mostly. But I mean, it's a creative channel. Like you can just go there if you're being creative. There's also a music channel for people who specifically are working on music stuff. The weird thing about Twitch's categories right now is that they never actually. It feels like, and I don't work at Twitch, so I don't know what like the conversations internally have been. But externally, it feels like they never actually really intended to use these this way. Because if you look at the database, like it tends to refer to itself as the games database. So right now I'm playing game development, and you can play creative, or you can like play music. Well, that one actually makes sense. But I think I don't know. I again, I don't work at Twitch. I don't know what they're going to do inside. But if I were them, I would come up with like a better system of organization because like their current system of organization doesn't totally make sense. So I don't know. We'll see. Okay, cool. So oh yeah, so this is not what goes here. This is just example. All right, so now we're getting the priv message, not GM event off, which is oh yeah. So I did I took that part already, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. So priv message part or else. Whoa. Yeah, I think this else is the priv message part. I'm pretty sure. Oh, interesting. Yeah, this has got to be the priv message stuff because all the stuff that we're looking for in here is like participation in an event. So I mean, I guess this I feel like this probably should have said elif priv message, but uh, we can do that now. We can make up for lost time. Uh, so yeah, and so then lastly, there's this other chunk for priv message, which huh. All right, if I just verbatim set up this stuff the way that I was setting up this stuff so far, then the GM couldn't use the unlink command, which I guess I don't have any specific reason to prevent the GM from using the unlink command. So, oh yeah, no, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Okay, so copy this chunk here, and this goes for yeah that place that I just set up. So priv message not GM event off. Right, because when the event is off, we check if the wait key in top. Oh, whoops! I missed a line. Right, I missed a line because it's supposed to say for key in. Wait, I must have missed a line somewhere, right? I must have. What's it supposed to say? Yeah, for key in. Whoops, okay, I forgot this line. Yeah, okay. For key in late dictionary dot keys. Yeah, okay. Right. So if the event is over. Wait, we just start with that? That's not right. That can be improved. That can be improved a lot. We just bang right into this. No, no, we should not start with this. All right, so that's probably going to want a little bit of a rework of its own, but huh. Yeah, let's I won't worry about it right now. Should I? Yeah, we just immediately start looping over the late dictionary. We like the first thing that we should do is check if name not in participation list. Or no, not even that. Yeah, what are the checks that we make? If name not in participation list. Oh, participation list. Yeah. No, I think actually participation list should be satisfactory. Cuz yeah. All right. So no, the first thing that we should do, yeah. Cuz yeah, so this case, like the else case to it is like non-existent. So this we should be running first. Yeah. So weird. I think that was just an example of me of me uh like putting this together in a weird order, and so it probably made sense at the like each of these pieces probably made sense at the time, but then by the end of it ultimately they like the whole of the completed whatever did not make as much sense. So I need to indent the break statement. No, wait, do I? No. If key in top, it's now the break. It now breaks if key in top, right? Yeah. Okay. If key in top. Yeah. Okay. So man, what's interesting? Once upon a time, we tested the like not the optimization. We tested the stress capacity of this code, and it actually held up really well, which is crazy because this was doing a lot of unnecessary processing. I'll be really interested to see. I don't know. I kind of want to find out what the old limit was, like what would have broken the old system. But I guess maybe we'll just never know, because maybe we'll just push that limit even higher. And Yakumas, say you found a green sword. Congratulations. I I noticed earlier. It just so yeah, the way people become mods in this channel is if it occurs to me like, hey, that person's a good chat participant. That person's been like hitting all the right notes, like, you know, just general like cool person, right? And it occurred to me earlier today. I was like, hey, Yakumas is one of those people. So you don't worry, you don't have any like particular like obligations or responsibilities. Like if you like, yeah, so I gave you the sword because you seem trustworthy. So if you know, if it seems like you should use it, I think you probably would use it correctly. But yeah, part of the reason I do that is so that people know like what, so that people like new people to the channel can have a good example for like here's what a mod talks like. So, you know, so think of mod as like model citizen, I guess. Okay. Uh, so what else are we doing here? Oh yeah. Before I forget, I'm going to change a little bit of the GM thing. Yeah, that like two-part conditional, the if GM name and if len split, blah blah. I mean, they're basically synonymous. They're basically the same thing. Oh, right. So that's what I was gonna do. Yeah. Okay. So right. What happens after the if name equals GM name thing is not going to be. Yeah, maybe, so I shouldn't make this an else case to the GM thing? Or actually, maybe it's fine. Maybe both. I keep coming back and forth. Is there any reason that I should process... Oh, yeah, no, there is a reason I should process this stuff for the GM, because the GM can still use some commands. What commands, though? Would it be easier to just, like, put the extra commands, like, in a different place, or... Um, or should I just like not GM? Yeah, I guess I won't make this the alternative to being a GM. Like this can process for the GM because that's not going to add a heavy burden or anything. So this is not going to be part of the else case. This is going to just be. Yeah, no, so I'll just unindent all of this, and there's not a condition to it. Is there not? There's not a condition to it? And then when I want to do something that's not for GMs, I'll just like specifically call out that it's not for GMs. I don't know if there's, it might just be that there's nothing that I care about that GMs not get. Like it might be just that everything is fine. So yeah, just all this stuff can get unindented. So this is no longer not GM. This is proof message event off. Oh, oh yeah, okay. That's what happened to that extra line. I was like, wait, I missed some code. But no, it's because I accidentally pasted it into the comment. That's where I went. Okay. So yeah, this is a proof message event off. Right, because that's what this is the else to. This is the else to event on. Oh, so yeah, I guess the difference here is now that GMs can participate in their own events. Which I guess that's fine. GMs can participate in their own events. I don't really like that. So maybe I could just oh, huh, wait. What's the right way to do this? Oh, yeah, no, I know what to do. It doesn't matter if GMs participate in their own events. And I I guess it's fine if the GM wants to participate in their own event, because I do that sometimes. Like when I'm acting as GM, like I sometimes participate in my own events. What's going to change is how the GM gets compensated for the event. Because if they could participate in their own event, like you already get experience for being the GM in an event. So if they could gain experience for being the GM and also gain extra experience for participating, that would be beyond what I want to do. So let's just change how that works. If GM active, GM experience equals values to, yeah. If GM experience points, yeah. Oh, right. Hmm. Um. Hmm. What's going to be the quickest way to excise this data? I could... Huh. Yeah, I could just say... Instead of saying plus equals, I could just say equals. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, no, this is fine. Wait. Sorry. Okay, so what's happening here is, I want to treat the GM's points differently, but I can either process, if I process all players the same, I'm trying to think of like how to process the GM's, like how to process the GM afterwards so that I can like kind of like retroactively fit it. The thing about like the way that experience gets assigned in this game is that experience kind of gets like tabulated, but it doesn't get processed like all immediately. So I mean, I could just use like an intermediate step. Like I've processed EXP gains. Process EXP gains is the list of experience gains that have been confirmed by the game systems, but have not yet been saved out as player data yet. So, I don't like the thing I don't want to do is like when I'm processing every player's data, I don't want to be like, are you the GM? Are you the GM? Are you the GM? Because that's too much. So I could just assume, I could make an assumption about how that data gets processed, but I don't know. Oh, you know what I could do is oh yeah. Oh no, this is easy. I just have to I just have to check if the GM is in the event dictionary. Because if the GM's not in the event dictionary, then yeah, okay. So if huh. So yeah, right. So is it the event dictionary? Is that event dictionary.keys, I think? If where is it? If p key in event dictionary.keys. Yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna check. Yeah. I don't know why that was so confounding. So if GM name in process, yeah. So before we do that, we're gonna say if GM name. Oh wait, but what do we do if it is? So if GM name in event dictionary.keys, we're gonna do something, and then else we're gonna do this. Oh well. So no matter what we do, we will do the minus GM XP. But yeah, just because we know that they were in the event dictionary doesn't mean we know how many points they gained. So how do I can just recalculate it? But, like, PB is like weird. Huh. I could yeah, like I said, I don't want to go like for every character and be like, oh, I'll just make it. Yeah. No, I'll just make it. Okay, GMs can participate in the event, but if they participate in the event, it's an either or sort of thing. Which I feel like that's fine. I could do it a different way, but I feel like this is actually fine. So I'll say if not in. So if GF name not in event dictionary.keys, then oh, okay. No, we'll do it like this. This is fun. This is satisfactory. Okay. Cool. Yes. And then what? Mhm. I'm like, sorry, I'm just thinking like, is there like a hole in this logic? Is there like some way to be exploitative? And maybe? Maybe. I, I'm not thinking of a way to be ironclad about this, without like just gratuitously much like processing that I don't want to do. So I'm kind of like leaning towards like although this isn't like ironclad, like it is technically exploitable in some ways. Uh, the I'm thinking I might just trust GMs because typically I'll only appoint someone a GM if I think they're trustworthy, and if someone proves themselves untrustworthy, they're never going to be GM again. So I could just keep an eye out for it because it's not that exploitable. It's not like you can. No, it is a little bit exploitable. The thing actually. So if okay, this is not. So my cause for concern here is not that there's a way that a GM could get some extra experience points. What's irking at me is that if a GM used this strategy, it would make the game a lot less fun. And so I don't want to like incentivize GMs to make the game less fun. I don't know. Again, like I can just put this to hey, you made it to the Hall of Dragons. Good job, guys. Yeah, I don't want to incentivize GMs to make the game less fun. Again, I can just like do this on like I'll be monitoring this stuff. And so I should be keeping tabs on whether GMs are being exploitative, and I can catch it if it happens. I don't want there to be a reason for it to happen. So maybe I should just exclude GMs from this. I guess. Maybe there's a cleaner way that I can just reorganize this stuff to accomplish this feat. Like maybe it's not as hard as it seems. A GM in terms of side quest. There's here. Let me pull up a handy dandy document which explains. It doesn't necessarily explain what a GM is per se, but I think in the context of this document, it'll make a lot more sense what a GM can be. I guess. Where's Is there really not? Get a shareable link, please. Are you? All right. Well, the link to this is really dumb, but sorry for the big stupid URL in chat, but that's that's apparently the link. It used to be able to. I could have sworn there used to be like a smaller version of this link, but apparently not anymore. So yeah, there's so this document describes how you can act as the GM for SideQuest uh, as a chat participant. And so on my secret control panel, I have a command where I can say, like, for example, I can say, like, crown Yakimus P, for example. And if I hit create event, then it would, it's a weirdly named button, but if I hit the activate button, that would make Yakimus the GM, and then Yakimus could create events and like basically run the game from the chat channel. So yeah, that's what a GM is. And so like yeah, so the reason that I'm differentiating between how we handle chat from GMs and not GMs is that, well, for one thing, GMs have all those chat commands, and so that's the first most important thing that we have to process. But like yeah, I'm at this point I'm basically just like setting it up, doing what I can to set it up so that like I was saying, like there's nothing like I trust, like if I make someone a GM, it's because I trust them on some level. And I guess is there an easy way to, no, there's got to be, yeah, so you're right. So I'm going to go look at how we can, like, yeah, I don't think I want to do stuff here. Like the change that I made here, like, I don't like it. So I guess I'm going to undo it, actually. And just make it so that GMs can't participate in their own events. What else can I do? Oh, no, there is something else I can do. Yeah, oh, this is easy. Okay, no, this is super easy. I don't know, I didn't think of it sooner. So, GM... How do I do this? So where's the, okay, so, oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. It's I was gonna so the thing that I'm gonna do is yeah, in order to make sure that GMs are not like double dipping, getting like too much experience for what they're doing, want to be best friends, Dev in JavaScript? I sure do. Great to have you here, new best bud. Yeah. How's it going? All right, so oh, sorry, what was the question? Is there a story or bigger scheme of things in SideQuest, or are you just wandering about in Trusty Bard's footsteps? Well, yeah, no, Yakimus is mostly right in saying, like, well, yeah, it's similar to Dungeons and Dragons. In Dungeons and Dragons, you're always just wandering in the GM's footsteps. So yeah, so like Trusty Bard acts as the GM a lot of the time because well, yeah. So I have the secret control panel where I should be acting as GM hypothetically, but a lot of the time I just let Trusty Bard run the show. I like so far I rationalize that as that like everything I'm doing is to build SideQuest right now. So like this is just another thing I could be doing to facilitate SideQuest. I mean the other thing is I want to make Trusty Bard, like all the stuff that I add to this game, I want to make Trusty Bard a good enough GM so that Trusty Bard really can run the show. Not because I intend that for that to be the main mode of the game, but that's going to be an important mode of the game. So if this game is going to be if this game is going to be as good as I want it to be, then that will be part of what this game can do. So yeah, I guess if you're not thoroughly impressed with Trusty Bard's GM skills yet, I hope I'll at least be able to get him eventually to a state where he's up to snuff. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. Okay. Yeah. So right, and so did I take out the thing that I did with the other thing about the stuff? Here's the part where we process player keys. So the last thing I'm going to do before this is, yeah, I'm going to just check what the, so if, oh, do I really want to do this? I might just not care. Maybe the G... I'm just trying to... Maybe I just shouldn't care about this. Because, like, there are things that I can do that are, like... There are things I can do, but, like, none of them are... Like, they all seem like overkill. And it's, like, it's something that I want... So it's something that I want to accomplish, but I guess it's not something that I'm willing to expend so much... Like, I'm not willing... the cost doesn't seem worth it. So... Like, I keep thinking, like, oh, wait, I could do this instead. But then, like, as I think it through, like, oh, wait, but to do that, I would have to, et cetera, et cetera. And, like, all those little tack-on costs, I haven't found one that I like yet. So, I could just make it that. They're, like, really ugly things I could do, but I don't want to do really ugly things. So I'll just oh, wait, I could do that. For pkey and player dictionary.keys. For pkey and player dictionary.keys. I could instead of using player dictionary.keys, I could take player dictionary.keys. I could check if GM's in it, and if GM's in it, pop GM out of it. Oh, no, but keys is a list. So that kind of fits into the whole too much, I don't really want to do it scheme. Keys is... Because I don't want to pop the GM out of the player dictionary. I just want to pop them out of the list of keys. Or, like, I would just want to skip that key. Maybe I will just do that thing that I said I didn't want to do. No, whatever. Maybe I'll come up with something better later, but for now, GMs just can't participate in their own events. That's how it was before, so it's not like we're losing anything here. I thought it would be nice if GMs could participate in their own events, but... I guess if a GM needs to participate in their own event, they can ask me to participate in the event on their behalf. Because I don't tend to participate in events. Because I'm here all the time, and if I participated in events, then... I'd be so high. I'd be so high level. Oh no, is Twitch being weird? I prefer when Twitch is cool. And I mean weird, there's nothing wrong with weird, but like I don't know. Alright, so all this business, all this event on business. Yeah, so if I just made this else if event on, then it'd be kind of back to what it was. It'd be kind of similar to what it was before, but not exactly the same. So else if event on. Oh, wait a second. Yeah. So then else proof message. Yeah. So this is now this is not GM. Not GM, yeah. And this is back to being proof message, not GM event off. Oh yeah, this is also proof message, of course. All right, so Uh, let's let's do what? Oh shoot! I made these events mutually exclusive again with nothing for it, so I could just ugh. Yeah, no, the reason that I have to do a different else case. The different else case is because of that stupid GM command. I mean, it's not stupid, but like, gosh, that GM command is somewhat irksome. All right, no, this is the so the act search equals what would I have this equaling? It's the same thing I was doing with it before. What? Oh, did I get rid of the other? Oh, huh. I must have dropped that, but whatever. Okay, so so it's this thing basically. So act search. Oh no, so actually no. First up front, it just equals an empty list, and then when we're doing this research stuff. Actually, no, we don't have to change this. We can leave this part exactly the same because it never becomes relevant again. But I'm just setting act search up front because the else case to caring about the GM stuff. Like if we're not, yeah. So in the case that that's not a GM inputting command, then act search equals regex find all. Except we don't. This time we don't use the start index. We just search the whole thing. All right, that's fine. Right, but then I guess so. The thing that seemed a little awkward is now. I guess I want to put this in another if not GM block. Because this is all just for participation. So, like, the only thing that the GM could do in this block was participate in an event. So yeah, so this is just the participation block, and then it's weird to like I'm checking if name equals GM up there, and now I'm checking it again down here. Whatever. If name not equal, well, like, I'm kind of checking the other thing. If name not equals GM, and yeah, that's weird, but whatever. I think it's like the least of the possible weirdnesses. Like, this is just like weird logic, and so something has to be weird in order for it to work. Have I ever been to Seattle? Oh, thank you, Yakimus. Yeah, if you ever feel like acting as GM, let me know, because like it's just a feature of the game. Only a few people have ever really expressed interest in it, which is why it doesn't get used very often. But I actually like it when people act as GM. So you're welcome to if you ever feel like it. Oh yeah. So have I ever been to Seattle? No. Have I? No. I might have like had a layover in like a Seattle airport or something, but I never actually. If that ever, I've probably just never been to Seattle. It seems like a cool place though. It's another place with like a really good game dev scene, from what I hear. So, I've always lived like I've never been far from Boston my entire life. So, I've always had that scene. But yeah, yeah. So if name not equal, oh, this is not supposed to be indented as far. If name not equal GM, so this is a proof message. Still, look at all these comments I'm putting in. Yeah, so this is proof message, not GM, event off. All right, so the last proof message thing to add is oh, so I did this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I added all this stuff. Yeah, so the last proof message thing, is for anyone. It could be for the GM. It could be for not the GM. And this is like why I had to keep like, I don't know, why it had kind of a weird split is that add player. Oh, I should do add player up front at proof message. I should do this at the top of proof message because it's weird. Because otherwise, I'll be doing it multiple times. All right, so yeah. Wait, what is this hail business? Oh yeah, hail. Right, sure. Okay, so let's copy this and put this up. We're almost there. We just have to do the separate part messages, and then we can actually get to adding the features that I wanted to add in the first place. All right, so so this if case. Oh wait. Okay, yeah. So the else is the not event on, and so this if case is where we want to plop this stuff. Is this? How's the indentation here? Oh, it's actually indented correctly. Cool. So yes, that is good. Oh yeah, but like I said, the add player thing should happen first. Because if someone's talking in chat, then we can add them as a player. It's safe to do that because, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, it's duplicative a little bit in some respects to have, well, no, whatever. If proof message, then we can just add player. Because if we add a player, I think the first thing that we check is if the player is already added. And that way it's just quicker that I can just say add player all the time, instead of having to check if the player is added before sending add player. Yeah, if name not in player dictionary. I think this, is there actually an alternative to this conditional? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because we do actually set their departure as false if we get proof message and stuff. So there's actually some stuff that we do. So yeah, it doesn't hurt to add player. In fact, sometimes we often should be adding players. So if handle equals blank. Oh yeah. Oh, we do this every time we add a player? Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Alright, yeah, okay. Cool. So, yeah, that is pretty much that. So now I have to do, so yeah, there's the join and the part. The part is it's the last part. Sorry. Apologize. So, when was the last time I prayed? Is that a question? What's the quote? Oh, missionaries. Yeah, Sato. Have you not been praying enough lately? They weren't just going to door. They had a hunch about you. They had a hunch about you, Asato. They were like, this jerk. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I was just kidding. Alright, how long have I been working on this program? Today I've been working on it for a few hours, but I started making side quests back in October. So, gosh, what is that, like 5 or 6 months at this point? I started it right at the end of October, so like November, December, January, and February. I missed February, but it's like 5 months. I don't know why I forgot February. I don't have anything against February. Alright, so I did this, I added this part in. Alright, so it is, I'm pretty sure it's literally just the parts. This part. This final part. So wait, this is the part that is in So this is the so okay. So yeah. So for part we do the event on else business. Oh, I almost missed a line. Oops. Hold on. Let's get the whole thing. So copy this. So yeah. So if we're processing a departure, we will check if there's an event, because the reason we don't or the reason we process differently departures during events versus actually we don't have to be checking if T split apart anymore. Because we already checked that. Sorry, no. So if a player leaves during an event, we actually don't kick them out of the game until after the event, and that's because if they participated in the event, they can still get credit for having participated in the event. So copy this, and then I'm pretty sure that is the last chunk. After that, we will be a bit more orderly. You know, as much as like I like refactoring stuff because I prefer my code to be like not bad code. I prefer good code to bad code. But the thing that tends to throw me after I do it is oops, too many else's. Not enough indentation. Actually, no, there's enough indentation because I can just get rid of this line. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I get familiar with like the shape of my code, and so then when I'm like looking through it, it throws me off to have it like reorganized. So it'll take me a little while to get used to it again, but that's fine. Small price to pay. All right, I think we're done with that, and we're set up to do the thing that we wanted to do with the stuff and the other stuff and the thing and the hey. How do you do? Yeah, that's the part we just did. So that was the last bit. The rest of this commented out stuff is now duplicative, and we can eliminate it. Eliminate. Blammo. Cool. Look at all those microseconds we saved with our efficient data processing. Okay, so we have action search is the new hotness. Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what we can actually do is we don't actually have to check if name not equal GM anymore. Sort of. Well, I mean we can, but the other thing is like if the GM is if this is the GM that we're processing, then action search will be blank, and so we could just use action search. Yeah, because the point of action search is that we do the same thing right here, and now we don't have to do this anymore. And there are a few cases where we would have been doing this. So are we doing source split? Oh wait, am I doing? Oh yeah, wait, hold on. I'm supposed to do this before I. Oh yeah, whoa, I'm not even doing this. I need to be doing this. Source split is an important first step because that's source split is what I'm using for this. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I can actually do hypothetically I can do source split at the top of the thing. I can do source split as soon as we know it's a private message. Which is what I assume private message stands for. Private message? Private message? I don't know. I could do source split earlier on. Not that it makes a huge difference. Oh wait, where am I doing source split here? Oh, I'm doing it. Yeah. Sure, why not? Copy this, source split. We can do it right after we add player. Oops. There we go. And then, yeah, so all these other instances where we're doing it. I mean, source split is always the same thing. It's always top.split on source division. Research division. SRC, I use it interchangeably to mean search or source. Which is probably a little weird, but whatever. Yeah, now I don't have to do it in all these other places. Because these are, like, these other cases that we would be doing it are all like else cases, they're all like, it's not like we actually do it multiple times. It's just that we write it multiple times because um, yeah. Oh, so I guess there technically are some places that we don't still do it, because there are some GM commands that we don't do it for. All right, fine. I'll leave it. I'll leave it how it was. I'll just have to remember to keep putting it every time